Rebecca and Roxy here, and today we are going to be doing the Disney pin tag. I was tagged by my good pin friend Shoebox Memories, my pin friend in Canada. Right? Am I right? And we are going to be pulling some pins. Yeah. We're going to be pulling a few pins from our collections that we feel best fit the questions. So let's get started. The first pin we chose for the first question, which is your oldest pin? And that pin comes from Miss Roxy Bear's collection. And we chose to interpret the question oldest as far as year, right? Yeah. Oldest as far as year, not oldest as far as pin we've had the longest. Roxy just started a collection not too long ago for Aristocats and Nightmare Before Christmas because, bless you. So, question number 1. What is your oldest pin? And that pin actually comes from Miss Roxy's collection, and it is a pin from 2002, and it is a Marie pin. Roxy's two favorite movies are Aristocats and Night Before Christmas. So about 3 or 4 months ago I started collecting pins for her. So she has her own pin board, which was part of the intro. Roxy decided to take 5, so I'm going to continue without her. On to the next question, which is, what is your newest pin? I chose to interpret the question newest pin as newest in release, not the pin I've gotten the most recently. I chose the Valentine's Villain Ursula. And I actually got this pin in a trade from my good friend Lavinda Pins on Instagram, so shout out to Randy. Hi Randy. I chose one of my higher end pins for the third question, which is a pin featuring your favorite character. And my favorite character of all time is Ursula, you might have guessed. So the pin I chose is this. And this pin is considered a jumbo. It is a limited edition 200 and it is from 2009, and I just love this pin. I love everything about it. I love the shine. I love that it has Flotsam and Jetsam. I love her evil grin. It's definitely one of my favorite pins. On to question number 4, which is a pin that has a year or date on it. Now, this is a little tough for me because as a practice, I don't do pins with dates or years. But as I looked through my current displayed collection, I found that quite a few pins have a year on them. So I was happy that I actually had one with some numbers because, you know, in general, I don't do pins with numbers. But I chose this pin featuring Ariel and Eric. And it has the year 1989 on it, which is the year that The Little Mermaid was released. And a fun little mini story that popped into my head when I thought about the year was I actually saw The Little Mermaid in the drive-in theater, which we had in my hometown just for the first, 5 or 6 years of my life, and then it was gone, which is very sad because I love the drive-in. But I remember going when I was in kindergarten, I believe. I would have been 5 in 1989, right? Yeah. I would have been 5 in 1989, and I actually remember seeing the movie, so it has legitimately been my favorite movie since I was 5. So I just remember loving everything about it, the colors, the music. I love that it was underwater. I loved Ariel's red hair. What do you know, I ended up with a little ginger baby, so that's a little extra bonus. Go Fate, I guess. Question number 5, a pin that has a funny story behind it. I find this personally hilarious. Luckily there is video that I will link below. A few friends and I started a pin group called the Bay Area Pin Traders. We have a page on Instagram, Bay Area Pin Traders, also a page here on YouTube by the same name. And when I was fairly new to pin trading, we we're just kind of realizing it was when Pin Trader Delights, which if you don't know, are pins exclusive to Disney Studio Store in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. It kind of started taking over shortly after. They'd always been popular, but they kind of started taking over shortly after I started really getting into the hobby. So the Bay Area Pin Traders, all 3 or 4 of us, decided we were going to do a cover. My sister, Miss Mouse House on Instagram, hi Lori, wrote these lyrics randomly one day on her commute to work to the song Do You Want to Build a Snowman, but she changed the lyrics to Do You Want to Get Some Ice Cream. Now at the Disney Studio Store you have to get a Pin Trader Delights sundae, and then you get a pin, and it's typically, well, it's always a Disney character of some sort holding an ice cream. And if you're, you know, at all into the pin trading, I'm sure you've heard of PTDs or Pin Trader Delights. But we decided to make a video. So they conned me into singing these lyrics that my sister had created on her drive to work one day, and we made a video. It took all day, like probably 8 or 9 hours. We filmed the whole thing, or we recorded the whole thing, and then we made a video to back it, and then we got slapped with copyright infringement, so we had to redo the whole video. Our friends, Carlos and Jules, who are Crazy for Pins on Instagram, hi Carlos and Jules, we had to redo the whole video. So I believe it was a weeknight, everyone had to work the next day, and we reshot, or, you know, redid the whole video because we couldn't do actual clips from Frozen. So we had to get creative. Now the cool part is we kind of involved our whole Instagram pin family, and we asked all of them to submit a picture with their favorite PTD, and it got kind of funny because some people didn't have a PTD, but one that they really wanted, so they sent us pictures holding an actual picture of the PTD they wanted, or some people were just holding nothing. So I highly suggest that you click the link down below to that video, because it is hilarious and we had so much fun making it, but it is pretty ridiculous, this video. But it has all of our, well, not all of our, but a lot of our pin family in it, featuring their favorite PTD, which, after my lengthy story, brings me to my pin behind it, which was, I'm pretty sure, my first PTD, and also the PTD that I featured in my picture. We called it, I think, a PTD selfie, something along those lines. This is my favorite PTD, and likely my first. I was very lucky because my sister was already pretty heavily into the pin trading community when I started, so I kind of had an in and kind of got spoiled because she kind of zapped me a lot of pins that aren't usually in a beginner's grasp. But I got this Vanellope PTD, which is still quite sought after and quite valuable, and also the pin, again, that I featured in our video, Do You Want to Get Some Ice Cream? For the next question, the pin I have with the most sentimental value. Now that's really hard for me. The pin that has most sentimental value to me is hard because every single pin I have has sentimental value. But when I really thought about it, one popped into mind. Let me preface this by saying I have made some of the best friends I've ever had through pin trading. One of which is Pin Cartel on Instagram, Joseph, hey Joey, and he also has another profile, I believe it's Creative Joe. I'll put it somewhere around here, because he's getting into graphic design now, I believe, so he has 2 profiles. But anyway, when I first got into pin trading, he was one of my first pin friends, and we just kind of, it's one of those people you meet and you feel like you've known forever, but you just met them. And he sent me my first zap one of the first collections I tried to complete was the Pin Trading Night pins from 2014. And I was having the hardest time not finding Anna or Elsa. There's 7 pins in the series with the exception of an 8th that I don't have, which is Jack Skellington, because it was never officially released. And Jessica Rabbit was one of the 7 that I just couldn't get my hands on. So my fast friend Joey zapped me the Jessica pin trading night. Here's what it looks like. And they all have a similar outer pin structure, but they all have obviously different characters inside. And I don't know if you realized it or not at the time, but it's signed by the artist. You can see that there. Which does increase the value and is really awesome, but I mean, seriously, it was just the thought. It was awesome. And to back up me saying he's into, you know, design and drawing, and he's an amazing artist, he sent the pin in a bubble mailer with a picture drawn on the back of the pin. I'll insert that now, which I also have a wall in my house of some of my favorite envelopes or cards or things, miscellaneous, that I've gotten through the pin mail. So it's actually up on the wall in my pin room. So all in all, although literally every pin I have has some sort of sentimental value, this was probably the first pin that I got that really just tugged on the heartstrings. And last but not least, the pin that took me the longest to get, which again is half my collection because I don't want common pins because that would be too easy. So I have to like want the pins that are impossible. So I'll just show you because it's fabulous. Go figure, Ursula. This is a pin that was quite difficult to get. It is the designer Ursula pin. I will have to say it's odd when I think Ursula. I don't think supermodel thin like this, but you know, it's an interpretation. And I love the glitter on this pin. I love the size of this pin. I love that they still captured her sassy in it. And it was a hard pin to get. Any of the designer couples or designer princesses or designer villains are freaking hard to get. I've had a lot of different ones throughout my time of collecting. I only have this one and the Rapunzel and Flynn Rider from Tangled designer couple. It's up on the board there. I'm going to be doing a collection video, so you'll get to see everything, but this Ursula was a toughie, and a lot of times the pins that I just have to have I end up buying, but I traded for this. Who did I trade with? I can't remember right off the top of my head who I traded with, but I really hope I can pull it out of somewhere because I traded for this. It was a trade off Instagram, a 1-for-1 pin trade, which, you know, with the higher end, higher value pins, sometimes you have to trade, you know, 10 of your pins to get one really expensive one, but luckily I had something she wanted, she had this pin I wanted, and it was just an awesome trade, and it's one of my favorite pins, and I worked for this bad girl. So that is it for this Disney tag. Again, thank you, Cheryl, aka Shoebox Memories, here on YouTube, for tagging me. It's the first tag I've done in a very long time now that I'm rebooting my channel. It was so fun to film, so thank you. As far as who I tag you. If you're watching this, I tag you. If you have a pin collection, do it. It's really fun, and it really gets you kind of reminiscing and thinking about your pins and appreciating them. Cuckoo over here is getting a little antsy, so I'm going to wrap it up, but I hope you enjoyed this video. It is one of many involving my Disney obsession to come, as well as the videos you've come to know and love, as far as, you know, makeup and beauty and blah, 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 and all that other stuff, which all my videos are on my page. If you haven't watched them, check them out. It's kind of a lot of different things. Thank you so, so much for watching, and Roxy, say bye-bye. So from our home to yours, we will see you soon. Bye.